How are we going to approach this question? Any suggestions? Of how you can structure your answer?
Okay, I'll start by identifying the key features of
your syllabus has indicated.
Sorry. So I'll start by indicating the key features of the balance scorecard.
Okay.
Yeah, because there it says SOUP, they were focused on shareholder maximization of shareholder wealth, and they were not. Okay, you're moving the page.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so they were focused on high returns to shareholders, whereas there were poor reports of poor service. The trains are overcrowded and unreliable services on certain routes and at busy times. So it's like SOUP was focused on just shareholders and forgetting other stakeholders.
Good. So I like your first approach. You know, a question of this nature, what we must be talking about is the approach. So the approach which say that you are going to focus on the 4 perspectives. We're going to talk about the 4 perspectives. And you're going to demonstrate how each one of these perspectives can help a company. So for each one of the perspectives, you want to look at the information from the case to support each one of these. So I agree with you that a good answer will start off by saying, currently this company doesn't seem to be balanced in the way they do what? They measure performance. Those concerns that you have raised simply indicate that this company is not balanced. So if they introduce the balance scorecard, one of the advantages is that they're going to have a balance. The 4 main areas which are critical to strategic success will be covered. So we're going to introduce that the balance scorecard is an approach performance management which focuses on having a balanced set of measures. And according to the model, balanced measures should cover financial, customer, internal, and innovation. And it demonstrates that currently the company seems to have a way of managing performance or measuring performance which is not balanced, which has got weaknesses. Now you need to indicate weaknesses. Now you tell me the weaknesses. The answers now come from the case. You pick where you think there's a weakness and how the balance scorecard approach can help. Financial. Does somebody want to comment on financial? Financial perspective. What is obtaining currently at a company? How would the adoption of a balance scorecard help the company in this area? Mhm. My team.
Currently, the company seems to be using a return on capital employed, which is not a direct measure of shareholder wealth. The Balance Scorecard, I think, will assist in ensuring that the KPI used will be perhaps EVA or share price or total shareholder return, which is a direct measure of shareholder wealth maximization. The current ROS is to the disadvantage of the company not wanting to invest in long-term capital, as it is seen that they ended up buying the odd coaches, which are giving them problems also. So instead, if you use EVA, they will be encouraged to invest in new trains or equipment.
So you see where the answer was then? That's the answer you're looking for. Currently, the company is narrow in terms of measures under financial. They're a traditional company that is looking at the return on capital employed. And because they want to report a high return on capital employed, they're very happy with the odd trends which are giving them problems. The point is, we need to structure the answer. We need a structured answer. And the structured answer is dictated by the model itself. So just like what Barbara said at the beginning, that we need to focus on the features or the areas of the model. Then we slot in our points. So here we're saying, yes, the company currently is in a trap of focusing on short-term benefits. They're using return on capital employed. If they switch to the Balance Scorecard looks at long-term. You want to look at the measures which support shareholders' wealth maximization. This measure they have actually doesn't even support shareholders' wealth maximization. And now they're keeping all the trends which are giving problems. Have you seen how we would have proceeded?
Yes.
What of on customer? What are we going to say? What of on customer? What of on customer?
There is poor passenger service. The trains are overcrowded, and also the services are unreliable on certain routes. So the customer service is poor, or the customer satisfaction is poor. So maybe they need to introduce a measure for customer satisfaction, which is under the Balance Scorecard, the customer perspective.
Have you seen the point which I've highlighted? Passenger numbers are what they're looking at. Them, they're very happy. They say this is another performance measure which they use. They just have one passenger measures. That is too narrow. You can't just focus on passenger numbers, no. It could be that people have no options. People have no options. I mean, that is why the numbers are going up. It's not because of, so the introduction of the Balance Scorecard will help them to go beyond just measuring passenger numbers. You want to carry out some customer surveys, some satisfaction levels. You want to talk to your customers. You don't want to hear till the customers complain, no. Then we are saying that they haven't received complaints. That's poor management and leadership. You can't say that everything is all right because I didn't receive a complaint. No, but you have a KPI, because if you have a performance measure in place, you don't have to wait for the customer to complain. you yourself, you're going to provoke the situation. So here, the good answer wanted you to bring in this point here. What of internal perspective? Are they measuring these items here? The internal perspective, the internal processes. Are they measuring internal processes? Are they measuring? Is there evidence that they are measuring performance in internal perspective? No. What are the elements of internal processes which seem not working well? Which elements are not working well? Are you seeing the ones I'm highlighting? Are you seeing the ones I'm highlighting? Or you're not seeing the ones I'm highlighting now?
Yes, we can see them, sir.
So in here, we want you to mention these items. That's what will give you the marks. We can even just pick one, cleaning. It's very dirty. So the coaches are dirty. The washrooms are dirty. So they have no performance measure. In their current performance management system, they are not capturing performance in the internal perspective. So now you come in. So it's not just a matter of saying the company will benefit. You demonstrate the weaknesses in the current performance management system. What of innovation and learning? How are they doing? Did you pick anything showing that there's a problem with the innovation?
Their competitors are already using electric trains that are emitting less, and yeah.
That is one. Another one? To show that these people have a challenge with innovation.
They also have a problem with unreliable internet access.
That's the modern world. The modern world is about internet. What are the onboard cafe, the menu? Same old things. Can you imagine, eh? Same old things on the menu. Huh? They have not changed in the past 5 years. Can you imagine? Now, these were not just mere stories or to make this case study interesting. No, these were your answers. This is where the answers are. So on innovation, you're saying that if their performance management system covered this area, they would have benefited because they would have realized that long-term we need to invest in electric trains, which have less pollution. But short-term also there are things that they can do, such as bring in a reliable internet, wireless internet service, changing the menu, you know. So their current performance management system is inadequate. And you, by pointing these, you will get your 10 out of 10, or if the examiner, then your 8 out of 10 must be able to give you. If you ask, the question has been answered in line with what is here. Now, there's a take home here. What can you take home? This concept of how can a performance management system, or how can a model help a company improve their performance management system is highly examinable. So you must do this. You must ask yourself, how can the company where you work currently, how can they benefit if they adopted the balance scorecard? You must answer that question. Then you're going to see that there's a lot of gaps in what they do. And the balance scorecard can come in to help. I hope you have picked that point. You must always, all these 5 models, you must always ask yourself, how can this help our company? What the company currently does, how does it compare with what the model says? Okay. Of course, the next challenge other than this is now to present this work briefly. So it's better to have structures, subheads, financial, customer, internal innovation, and put your comments accordingly. Good, so that was the first part of the question there. Okay. We do get some basic computations, not very complicated, no, very basic computations. Like here, use the performance data given, evaluate the comments on deal and government that soup strains are overcrowded. So you need to evaluate the comment. Now you need to be very careful with this question when it says you evaluate the comment. So what does the evaluation here indicate? There's a statement that the soup strains are overcrowded. So what are we expected to talk about here? Or what will be the outcome of your assessment? Only 2 possibilities. What are those 2 possibilities? It's either yes or no. Or it could be yes and no. So what are numbers saying? Let's check the numbers. Let's take our calculators and check our numbers, team. There is no complicated numbers here to warrant a very big computation, no. Number of passengers per day are here. What is your capacity? So you get your capacity, okay? Here they have got coaches A and B. Let's pick the coaches. The numbers are here. A, 7 coaches, 70. There are 7 coaches, and each of them has got 70 passenger seats. And here they have got 6 coaches, and that's 70. Okay. So let us go. 7 coaches, each one of them has got 70. So when you multiply, how many seats do we have? 70 by 70. How many seats? 490.
490.
6 by 70, 420. Number of services per day. So here you multiply. Let's do a multiplication and we do a simple comparison. Here you multiply by 490. Here you multiply by 420. So let's multiply people. Let's look at the capacity. I'll put here. What capacity? 4 by 490. What's the capacity here? What is available? I'm looking for my answers, please. 4 by, can I have that, some answers, please?
4 by 490 is 1960.
Okay, 1960. That's too much now. Okay, let me just create some space here so that so here, Mama, what have you calculated? 1 here?
1960.
1960. What of down here?
168.
168.
Oh no, sorry.
Or is it here?
Yeah, it's there.
1680. Okay. Here you multiply by 490. 490 by 420.
No. Okay. 2940.
Which one here?
Yes.
2940. What of there?
3360.
3360. So let's go. Is there a problem here? Let's go. Let's see if there's a problem. There's overcrowding. Let's check there's overcrowding. Are we overcrowded here? The number of customers, this is our capacity. Are we overcrowded there?
No.
What of here? Are we overcrowded?
No.
No. What of here? Are we overcrowded there?
No.
What of here? Are we overcrowded?
Yes.
Yes. So, would it be fair to say that there's overcrowding? Would it be fair to say that we are overcrowded?
Overall, no.
Yes, to a large extent. To a large extent, by and large, the answer is no. That's what our analysis. So to a large extent, we would say no, there doesn't seem to be a problem. Now, all of us have jumped on public transportation. I mean, if you're in places like, I think those that are in Joburg on that how train, and also, you know, if you get a place like Europe itself where you've got, there are times when this is true. Isn't that so? Barbara?
Yes, it's true.
It's true on the how train, eh?
Yes.
We haven't come to Joburg to jump on a how train now in a long time because of COVID. We used to come there to jump on the train. There are times when, yes, the trains are packed. By and large, you may find that they're not, but there are times. So that statement, you must not completely throw it away. And that's what the evaluation is. Now, in your evaluation, if you just say, no, there's no problem, full stop, you have missed the point. See what you can say on the other side. Could there be any merit in the statement? Yes, there could be some merit. It could be that your experience is that the time when you travel, you find that, yes, there's overcrowding. What we are getting is an average picture, and an average is always dangerous because it doesn't go into specifics. So what we are presented is just an average picture. So what we have is an average picture. So on average, you may say no, but there may be specific times when the problem is there. So your marks went to the computation, whatever computation you did, whether you just did a comparison, just do a table comparison, or if you want percentages, whatever it is. Okay. Good. So my only comment there is not about this computation, but it's that expression evaluate. So we're expected to evaluate that assertion. And would have said, overall, that statement is not correct. However, it could be that there are times when the trains are overcrowded and some people have experienced, or maybe the inspectors have checked those particular times, and that was the basis for their assessment. What of the last one there? Assess the problems SOAP may encounter in selecting and interpreting performance measures when applying the balance scorecard to its performance management system. This question, we talked about it, that it's a common question. We don't want to be biased and say that the balance scorecard is perfect, it has no problem. No, the balance scorecard has a problem, especially when it comes to selecting and interpreting performance measures. So what are some of the problems that the company may face? We discussed some of these. Do you think conflicting measures can arise here?
Yes.
For instance, what conflict may arise as we use balance scorecard? In this business, we want high occupancy rate, eh?
Yes.
But in trying to pursue high occupancy rate, that may conflict with what? The issue of overcrowding. The issue of overcrowding may be an issue. So you may say, you may tell them that you may likely to find some conflicts here. You need to be very careful. Make sure those are eliminated. Another problem? In a balance scorecard, we say that you may have to introduce some qualitative performance measures, especially as you deal with customers. We said that just measuring customer numbers is not adequate. We need to ask them questions and do a survey. Now we have a problem because surveys bring about qualitative information. So qualitative information has got some subjectivity. It's got some subjectivity. We did also discuss that for the company to benefit, they must have measures in all areas, all perspectives. That's the emphasis. Are they going to manage that? Some perspectives may be difficult, coming up with some performance indicators. Then we've got information overload. Talk about information overload. And whenever there's something new, when you're moving something new, we know the challenge, isn't it? The balance scorecard will be a new concept here. So the fact that they have not used it before, that is a challenge as well. So you can mention a lot of items here to demonstrate the possible challenges that they may have, especially when it comes to selecting and interpreting performance measures. Qualitative performance measures are difficult to interpret. Selecting measures may be difficult due to lack of experience or expertise. At the moment, the company seems to have a very basic performance management system. Okay, so this is an example of the many questions that you have on the balance scorecard. That's an example, a sample of question. Okay. Let's make a move now to a concept for today. Let's look at the model for today. Let's look at the model for today. the performance pyramid. So it's not just about the balance scorecard, no. It's not just about the balance scorecard, no. You also are expected to know about the performance pyramid. Now, this performance pyramid is very, very important, and it's got its own contribution to non-financial performance. Non-financial performance within the private sector. Why do we say so? Let's go. Performance pyramid links the overall strategic view of management with day-to-day operations. At corporate level, financial and market objectives are set and actioned by market satisfaction and financial measures. Strategies developed at the strategic business unit level, which in turn are supported by those specific criteria at the operational level. Now let's talk about this. So what's the story here? The story is that we need a performance management system which mirrors the structure of the organization. So here what we are saying is that every organization has got 3 levels. What are the levels? The corporate level, the strategic business unit level, and the operations level. So the first argument is that a good performance management system should mirror this. So the thinking is that a good performance management system should be modeled on this, or it should reflect these levels. A good performance management system should reflect these levels. What are the advantages of using this approach? The performance pyramid links the overall strategic view of management with day-to-day operations. That's a big advantage. The corporate vision is linked to the operations. So we have a situation where the focus that we have at the operations level is similar to what we have there. What we are doing there is in support of the vision of the company. So that's the advantage. Number 2, this model looks at both the external effectiveness and the internal efficiency are achieved through measures at the 3 levels. What do we mean? This side of the model looks at external effectiveness, helps to judge whether as a company we are effective externally. As a company, are we effective externally? That's what we are looking at this side. How are we doing internally is this side. There we are. So we need to mention that if you adopt this model, you're going to have a model which at least bring in or tells us how we are doing externally and how we are doing internally. Are we externally effective? Are we internally efficient? At the higher level, people work at the top, our bosses. People in strategy are responsible for market satisfaction. So then the performance indicators will hover around this. But this model shows us that this result does not come from nowhere. Market satisfaction arises from where? Customers. So this model shows us an outcome and the driver of that outcome. An outcome and the driver of that outcome. So market satisfaction is linked to your customer satisfaction and flexibility. These two. Market satisfaction, which leads to increased market share, only arises when you have got customers who are happy. And also when a company is flexible. Customer satisfaction and flexibility are supported by what? Quality. So at the operations level, we have quality, timely delivery. These are going to support these two. What of financial? Which is internal now. For you to improve your financial results, you need to be productive. You need to produce units or services. And also need to be flexible. For you to be productive, for high productivity, what do you need? Low levels of waste. Low levels of waste. For you to be productive, you must produce quickly. Process time must be reduced. So these contribute to flexibility and productivity. So I've got a model which shows the result and how that result is driven. We've got a model which emphasizes a corporate vision, and it tries to link this vision to your operations. Now, let's come to our exam. What are we expected? Again, we expected one, we need to know this. Just like on the balance scorecard, somebody helped us to identify that a good answer was supposed to look at those 4 perspectives. Here, a good answer entails that you must know this diagram. We may not be asked to draw it, especially now. Look at the nature of the exam. However, it will be easier for you to apply it if, as part of your study, you can do a sketch. If you can do a sketch, that will help you when you're doing your explanations. So we can do a sketch. Otherwise, come up with a diagram. In the exam, we want you to use this model to evaluate the current performance management system of organizations. Now, what we have seen, especially particularly for performance pyramid, is that we're not asked to compare the whole performance management system of the organization. That would be too complex. Unless in the 50-mark question, the big question, that's why we may want to evaluate the whole performance management system. What we have seen is an approach where they ask us to focus just on the operational measures at that level. And therefore, just compare them with this component here. Leave the others. Don't talk about that. So one possible question which has been repeated is, we are given a performance measurement and management system. Then you are asked to comment the extent to which it is in line with the performance pyramid. So the question would be, Does this company have measures for quality, delivery, process time, and waste? And most likely, they may have some of these, but not all of them. Such that your assessment would be, well, the company has probably that one and this one. They don't seem to have that. And if there's room to indicate KPIs, you can now indicate what KPIs they can bring in. If it's at the strategic business unit level, again, we are saying at this level, we expect that you must have KPIs for customer satisfaction, for flexibility, and productivity. And if they're not there, then you're saying the company currently may benefit by introducing a formal performance pyramid because they have got some gaps in this area here. So that's what we expect. Okay. So where to? Again, we are going to supply you with a question or two questions where you can apply the performance pyramid and tell us whether you think that performance pyramid is being properly adhered to or not. Okay, so that's what we shall do. After covering these modules, we'll be moving to ABM. ABM, which starts with ABC, of course. So the next area of our discussion is ABM and ABC. What contribution does ABM and ABC make to our performance management systems? How do they go beyond the traditional approach? That is what this model will focus on. You may remember that we tackled VBM at the same time that we looked at EVA. So we looked at EVA, it's at that point that we dealt with the concept of VBM. So now it will be ABM that we want to focus on and ABC. Okay. So when we share some questions with you, it's important to get a bit of time, like some of you did, to read through. So the question on equality, on operations performance indicators embedded in that question in 2018, please let's spend a bit of time going through it. Okay. In the course of the week also, those who did the assignments, I'll be engaging them so that they get some outcome, some feedback on their assignments. Starting tomorrow, I'll start the process of engaging those who submitted their work on the 50-mark question so that they can get a feedback as they prepare to do a live test now. All right, people, so we see you. Please log in Saturday, our usual time, which is 16 hours. When we're not meeting, the days we're not meeting, please spend time studying. Spend time studying and catching up. All right.
Mr. Perry, Saturday is 15 hours or 16 hours?
16. Have you seen that one here? Hello, you've seen it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good. So see you on Saturday, people.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank